When I'm talking about slavery, I want to be absolutely clear, as Mark so well laid out, what it is that we're talking about. Because the term has become devalued in modern life. If you look up in Merriam-Webster dictionary today the term slavery, the first definition is drudgery or toil. About a year ago I was on a flight coming back from Hong Kong, and it was an overnight flight. I had a speech the next day, and I had a very talkative young woman next to me, and she asked me what I did for a living, and I needed to get some sleep, and so I said, well, I'm a specialist in mass atrocities, in modern-day slavery and child rape, and that usually ends the conversation. In this particular instance, she said, slavery, I know something about this. I'm a banker, and I have 2 mortgages. I have to maintain my income levels, otherwise I fall into debt, and I'm trapped in these jobs. And I said, well, what I'm talking about is a little bit different. The people that I'm talking about are, in the eyes of their employers, disposable. And this was actually shortly after the collapse of the financial markets, and she says, well, do you know anybody that works for Lehman Brothers? And I said, actually, one of my close friends does. And I said, okay, well, this is going to be a longer conversation. And I wound up not getting that much sleep that night, but I hope I made a convert, and I hope I make a couple here this evening. What I'm talking about when I use the term slave is I am talking about people who are forced to work, held through fraud, under threat of violence, for no pay beyond subsistence. And in the world today, according to the International Labor Office, according to the United Nations, there are somewhere between 12 and 27 million people forced to work, held through fraud, under threat of violence, for no pay beyond subsistence. That's more slaves on earth today than at any point in human history, whether you take the high end or the low end number there. The numbers can be numbing, so I tried to break it down, and I tried to look at where these slaves are. There are between 10 and 20 million that are held in debt bondage, in what the UN in its deathless prose refers to as generational, hereditary, collateralized debt bondage. Which in no way reveals the horror of a man, a woman, a child who is forced to work breaking rocks, who is beaten regularly, who cannot walk away, who is